Good. I'm well, thank you. Who are all these VIPs? Clearly not Supernatural fans. Hi, there's one person waving frantically in the way back there. Hello, jumping person. Hi. Oh, hi. There's a smaller person over there who's somehow taller than everyone else in the room. How are you, Megan? Hi, everybody. So, I think that the format that I would like to follow today, if you're open to it, is you ask questions and then I refuse to answer them. Does that sound good? Okay, great. Hello. Yes, it's hard to ask a question if your microphone's not on, isn't it? Try again.
Hello.
Hi.
Misha, I would like to know when you. My question is about Jared and Jensen.
Oh God.
They are in a lot of other series right now, like Jared is in Fire Country and Jensen is doing Countdown right now.
And you want to know why no one will hire me?
No. I was wondering which series they are doing or have done you like the most.
Well, I haven't watched Fire Country, and I haven't watched Countdown, and I'm a terrible friend. But The Boys, I watched all of, and my son also watched The Boys.
Oh no!
And my son was aware of the fact that Eric Kripke created Supernatural, and he also created The Boys. And so he said to me, Dad, what's wrong with you? Why haven't you been on The Boys? And so then I sent an email to Eric and I said, Eric, I'm afraid my son will stop talking to me if you don't put me on The Boys. You have to do it or I'm coming after you. So I got on The Boys by threatening the showrunner. Which seems to me the only way I can get work these days. But yes. So I have to watch Countdown, and I don't know if I'm going to watch Fire Country.
To be frankly, I haven't seen Jared in Fire Country yet.
You have not seen Fire Country either?
Episode 20 of season 1.
Episode 20 of season 1 of Fire Country?
Yeah.
Well, you're paying your dues. Good for you. Okay, all right. Yeah, but I have been doing a little bit of collaboration with Jensen and his wife Genevieve. They're doing some television production now, and we're trying to turn the podcast that I did a couple years ago called Bridgewater. We're trying to turn that into a TV show together. So we'll see if that can happen. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Hi.
You do different voices for different incarnations of Castiel. Is
Right.
that in you work on, or does that come naturally?
It just was an accident. It was I was sick one day, I was not sick another day, and my voice just came out differently.
Okay, because
Yeah.
when Castiel, you have a deeper voice than when you play Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't know how Jimmy got that weird voice. It's weird, yeah. Poor guy. So the very first script for season 4, episode 1, when Castiel appears, Castiel is trying to communicate with Dean, right? But he hasn't yet taken a human form. He's still in his angel form. And when he's trying to communicate with Dean, windows are exploding and televisions are exploding. And so I read that and I thought, oh, well, Castiel should have like a deep, commanding voice when he finally takes a vessel. But unfortunately, the vessel he took was my body, and I don't have a deep, commanding voice, so I had to like really struggle to make my voice deep. And I thought I was only doing 3 episodes of that fucking show. So big deal, right? And it was like a year later, I went to the doctor a year later, and I was like, I don't know what's wrong, but I have like a sore throat that won't go away. And the doctor looked at my throat and he said, it looks like you have some vocal nodes. Have you been doing a lot of singing? And I was like, no, I haven't been doing a lot of singing. And he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And then it was like, bing! I realized, oh shit, I'm causing actual physical damage to myself by trying to have a more masculine sounding voice than Dean. And then of course, fucking Mark Shepard came on the show. Because like Dean was on the show, right? And he was like, hey, come on, Sam. And then Castiel came on the show and he was like, hello, Dean. And then Mark Shepard came on the show as Crowley, and he was like, hello, boys. And it was like we were getting lower and lower, and finally, and all of us then were trying to get lower than each other, and it was a disaster, and it ruined the show. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Me again.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. Can you say hi to my mom real quick? Just hi.
Is your mother a phone?
No, it's a camera.
Your mother is hiding in a camera?
She's at home.
She's at home?
Yeah.
Why are you ashamed to bring your mother out?
No, she can't. She's chronically ill. She can't come.
Oh shit. Now I'm an asshole.
I know you feel bad.
Hi Mom. Sorry that I'm an asshole.
Also, do you remember what we did yesterday?
What we did yesterday?
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell people, your mother's listening.
Do you remember?
No. What did we do? Oh, rock, paper, scissors. Yes.
I want a rematch.
A motherfucker. You ready?
Yeah. Steak papier, schaar.
Wait, what?
Ja, steak papier, schaar. Okay.
English only, don't cheat.
Let's go.
I was gonna give you a thumbs up. That's very offensive. Bye. I won both days, though. I'll point that out to you. Hi.
I was wondering what your favorite type of Castellan is.
My favorite type of Castiel,
Jimmy also does.
Jimmy included in the whole thing. My favorite Castiel is just good old Castiel because I just developed a soft spot for Castiel. But of the other versions of Castiel, I really enjoyed being Lucifer. But I also liked Future Cass. He had one of the great lines of the whole series, which was time to wash up for the orgy. So it's hard to pick.
And from the normal Castells, do you mean season 4 or like later seasons? Because they're very different.
There's the Castiels of the different seasons are different because the actor portraying those Castiels was wildly inconsistent. So, yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Hi Misha.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. I decided to choose my Indian Russian accent to ask you a question.
Oh, great, wonderful.
So my question, I'm very happy about the previous question, of course. Actually, do you remember you were doing like a TikTok trend? Then you were rating the Castiel versions.
Oh, yes.
So my question is about Daddy Cass. Actually, what do you think about all of this daddy culture around, growing up actors in the series?
Wait. Oh, the what culture?
Daddy culture, like,
Oh, no.
This, I don't know how to explain this. Like, the men's growing up in the series, yes, and they're like getting this daddy vibe. Like looking like daddy and acting like daddy wives, and
Daddy?
Yes.
I thought you were saying dirty, and I was very confused. Okay. So how do I feel about the whole
Yeah.
daddy thing? Creepy. As a father myself. The internet, I don't know if you know this, but it's a very creepy place. Yeah, there's some awkward things. My daughter presented me with something. It was like, what do they call it? It was like, oh fuck. Oh my god, this was so creepy. I was at a convention recently and I saw two like 10-year-old girls where they were sisters and they were wearing t-shirts that, well, they were there with their parents and they were wearing t-shirts that said, I love DILFs.
No!
And I was like, I don't think those parents know what that means. It was very disturbing. Okay, but anyway, yes, very disturbing, and it's very wrong. Yes, thank you.
I really love your gray hair.
I don't have any gray hair. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, are there things that Castiel is scared of in the show that you can relate to in real life?
Things that Castiel is scared of in the show? What was Castiel scared of in the show?
Well, what I was thinking is that what you may have in common is that you want to do good, that you want to make the world a better place, and if that doesn't work, it's scary.
Ah, interesting.
It is kind of deep.
Very deep, very high-minded. I thought you were going to be like, remember in that episode in season 7 when Castiel was afraid of a mouse? Which I don't remember, but I don't remember much from the show. What is Cass scared of though? Is he scared of anything? He's like emotionally dead inside, I think. What? What you? Losing Dean. Aww. No, I think he's more afraid that Dean is gonna wake up while he's staring at him while he's sleeping. Like, please don't wake up. Please don't wake up. You're gonna think I'm creepy. Well, that's a lovely sentiment. Maybe I'll just take your answer for my answer, if that's okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the plagiarism. Bye. Hi.
Hi. Do you want a lollipop?
No, I don't trust you.
It's fully packaged.
It's fully packaged, but you could have easily put this on there.
I promise.
It doesn't, you promise. Who do I know? This is very likely poisoned.
It's not, don't worry.
All right, you're gonna have to lick it first. See, you don't want to because it's poison. It's the oldest trick in the book. What's that?
When I lick it, you can't have it anymore.
Why? Because you're poisoned?
It's saliva thing.
It's a saliva thing?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to share, but
You're asking me if I want to share saliva with you? That's very forward. Oh my God. One of the first things that they teach a child is not to accept candy from a stranger. And here you are offering me a lollipop and then telling me you want to swap saliva. I think these are all warning signs. Thank you very much. I'm definitely going to eat this. Okay.
In season 5 we had the scene when the toys became real, and there was a scene when Dean put a farting pillow on the chair, Cat sat down, and I was wondering how often did you need to retake that without that anybody is laughing?
Do you guys know what she's talking about?
Yeah.
There was an episode of Supernatural where Castiel had to sit on what's called, we call it in the US, a whoopee cushion. It's a little like bag that when you sit on it makes a farting sound. And the idea is you slip it under somebody's seat before they sit down and it's like a prank. And this was written in the script. And this was kind of near, so I was a guest star on Supernatural for season 4. And then in season 5, I was a series regular, which means I had a contract and I was like, I knew that I was gonna be there at least for the whole year. which gives you, as an actor, it gives you a little bit more confidence. It's like, you know they're not gonna fire you immediately. And we got onto set, and there was this whole thing with the farting whoopee cushion, and I was like, this is stupid. This is just stupid. This is not funny, it's just stupid. Nobody's gonna like this, it's not gonna work. And I said to the director, can we just not do this? And the director was like, I can't not do it. Eric Kripke put it in the script. We'll have to call Eric. And so I was like, great, let's call Eric. Let's get him on the phone. I'm not doing this stupid fart thing. And so we got Eric on the phone. And I was like, Eric, the whoopee cushion thing, it's just not funny. It's just stupid. It's juvenile. And he was like, you're doing the fart gag. You're doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yep, okay, bye. And I realized who was in charge at that moment. And then I sat down on the whoopee cushion and did the fart scene. But because I had just been seriously reprimanded by the showrunner, actually there was surprisingly little laughing that went on at that point. Yeah, we had no problem with that scene. There were so many other scenes on Supernatural where we laughed constantly. And they were scenes that didn't seem funny at all. But it was the things that were happening behind the scenes that made it funny. Like, for example, there was a scene in season, fuck if I know, I don't know. There was an episode, I know what the episode was called, it was My Bloody Valentine. And we were in a morgue. And do you know what a morgue is? Okay. We were in a morgue, and it was Sam, Dean, and Cass. And there was a table, a stainless steel table, that had a pile of human hearts on it. And Castiel walks up to the table, and he was like, I don't remember what his line was, but it was something like, we must find out who has been taking these human hearts. And I walk up to the table, and Sam and Dean are on the other side of the table, and the camera was behind them looking at me. And I walk up to the table, and I say, what do you think we should do? And I look at Sam, and Jared goes like this with his leg. He has very long legs and very pointy toes, and they're right in my crotch. And I couldn't help laughing. I was like, and the director is in the other room just looking at the monitor, and the director just sees me go, and the director's like, yo, Misha, what are you doing? Come on. It's late. Everybody wants to go home. Okay, we're going again. So then I do another take. I was like, we have to find out who's taking these human hearts. What do you think we should do? And then I feel a broom handle under the table, again in my crotch. And I'm like, and I laugh again. And the director's like, Misha, come on. And I was like, you don't see what's happening under the table. And the first AD came over and took the broom handle away from Jared. And was like, don't do that again. And then Jensen said, Misha, don't deliver the line to him. Just say it to me. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. So I was like, we have to find out who's taking these human hearts. What do you think we should do? And I look at Jensen, and Jensen goes, and I go, and we spent like an hour and a half filming just me walking up to the table. It took forever.
So basically, when you're pissed, it's the best.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. Hi.
What is the weirdest thing that happened on set?
The weirdest thing that happened on set? Oh God. I have no idea. The first thing that comes to mind is it was another day of filming. There were so many weird things that happened on set. But the thing that comes to mind is we were filming this scene in a barn. It was in the stages, so they had built this fake barn, and we were filming this scene. And it's again Cass and Sam and Dean in the scene, and Jared and Jensen wouldn't stop fucking with me, and we could not get the shot done. And finally, this was also fairly early on. This was like season 4 or 5. And finally, I said, "That's it. I want them off the set." And and Jared and Jensen, they were like, the first AD, who's sort of like in charge of running the set, said, Jared, Jensen, can you please leave? And they were escorted off the stage. And Jared and Jensen were like walking, they told me this later, they were like walking back to their trailers, and they were like, wait a minute, what just happened? Did we just get kicked off the set of our show? How did that happen? And so finally we were doing the scene without them messing with me, but I still had to have somebody do the dialogue with me, so I knew where I was in the scene. And they had just been making me laugh constantly, and I was like, I'm never gonna be able to get this done. I need them to leave. And so I had the script supervisor and the props girl reading Jared and Jensen's lines. And so I'm looking at these two women who are reading the Sam and Dean's lines, and I'm looking at them, and the director's like, actually, Robin, the props girl, you have to be a little higher up for Jared's eye line, for Sam's eye line, so that Misha's like looking in the right place. And so she stood on a chair reading the lines. And there was something about that I found so funny that I couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, it's cursed. I'm never gonna be able to finish this scene. So that was a very weird thing that happened on one of many very weird nights on Supernatural. Oh my God. Thank you.
Can I have a high five?
Yes, you can. It'll be a low five, actually. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Hi.
Hello again.
Hi again.
I'm going to try to give you yet another mental process.
Okay, great.
If you put your socks and your shoes on in the morning or whenever, do you put both your socks on first and then your shoes, or maybe even one sock, one shoe, and then the other?
I put both socks on and then both shoes because I'm not a sociopath. Who puts one sock on and then one shoe?
Sometimes.
Do you do that?
Yes. Another thing we disagree upon.
Jesus Christ. That is fucked up. I'm backing away because I don't feel safe right now. Thank you for that question.
I mean, no.
Well, yeah, but you paused, hon. That was a very deep and probing question, and I think a fitting and meaningful one to end this program with.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you for asking the question that everybody else was afraid to ask. Thank you all. Lovely seeing you.
Thank you for joining us for this exclusive Q&A session. But the excitement doesn't end here. This is